John 5:18. Propterea ergo magis quae rebant eum Iudaei interficere, quia non solum solvebat sabbatum, sed et patrem suum dicebat Deum, aequalem se faciens Deo. Respondit itaque Iesus et dixit eis. Therefore, because of these things, the Jews or Jewish leaders sought to kill him even more, because not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but also he was saying that God was his own Father, making himself equal to God. Therefore, Jesus answered and said to them, well, we've got a monstrously long verse to tackle today, but nolite timere, don't be afraid. It's not as complicated as it may seem. It definitely ends on a cliffhanger here at the end, so you're going to have to tune in for the exciting conclusion in our next video to find out how Jesus answers this extremely heavy and dangerous charge that the Jewish leaders accuse him of. But let's just take it one step at a time through the Latin. Propterea, we saw this in a recent video, which is just propter plus ea, literally on account of these things. That's a preposition, propter plus accusative. On account of these things, therefore, here's our subject, the Iudaei, the Jews or Jewish leaders, quae rebant, were seeking. Now notice this imperfect tense is always important. It's always important for us to note that it indicates action that is ongoing. It's not completed yet. Sometimes it indicates what we call inchoative action, action beginning. We could say they were beginning to seek to do what? We're looking for a complementary infinitive. Here it is. They're beginning to seek to kill him. And maybe we want an adverb to explain in just what manner they're seeking to do that. More. Often you see this in pairs, magis et magis, more and more. Here we only really need one magis to make the point. Now why? Why is this all happening? Quia gives us the reason why. I teach my students in my Latin class, when I ask them a question beginning with cur or quam ab rem, why is such and such happening? Generally they can answer by saying quia, because, or quod, or quoniam, since. Here's the reason. So why are they seeking to kill him more because of all this? Since, from their perspective, okay, so this is our author, the evangelist, sort of entering their heads here and giving their reasons. Jesus, not only, now whenever we see non solum or any equivalent expression that means not only in Latin, we're also going to be looking for a sed etiam or sed et. Not only, but also, right? We're always going to see it in pairs like that. So not only was he doing X, he was also doing Y. Not only was he literally loosening the Sabbath. Idiomatically, we would say breaking the Sabbath or violating the Sabbath, perhaps. Solvere carries the sense of like undoing the thong of a sandal or untying something. It often carries a negative connotation. Not always. Sometimes it's just neutral, but often carries a negative connotation. Here, you're undoing something that shouldn't be done. We don't want you to undo this, but you're undoing it. You're disintegrating it. You're dissolving it. So not only is he doing that, but also, and here's some nice indirect statement with accusative infinitive, which doesn't always show up in the Vulgate, as we've talked about before. And he was saying that God, now we've got to supply kind of a hidden esse here. There's the infinitive in the accusative infinitive construction. He was saying that God was his own Father. He was claiming to be the Son of God. And here, just to be really explicit, is how these Jewish leaders interpret that. We've got a nice participial phrase making it clear that they view this as Jesus, in effect, faciens se aequalem, making himself the equal, and here with the dative, you are equal to someone or something in the dative case, in Latin as often in English. He was making himself, by saying God was his own Father, he was making himself equal to God. That is, they're recognizing what he's saying as blasphemy. Now, it's not blasphemous if you're telling the truth, which is not a possibility that the Jewish leaders are even remotely willing to contemplate in Jesus' case. But Jesus is going to answer in the ensuing lines, and we're going to hear what he has to say in rebuke to them. But this is just one of many times in John's gospel, and John highlights this over and over and over again. Jesus is not a merely human teacher. He makes it clear, and even if you don't believe or want to construe his words that way, it's very clear from the reaction of the Jewish leaders. And remember, these are scribes and elders and chief priests and their adherents who know the scriptures exceptionally well. They consistently interpret Jesus' words as claims to deity, as claims to godhood. They take him at his word in a way that many modern readers of the New Testament somehow don't want to. So their reaction is revealing as well. At other places, they pick up stones to stone him, which is the penalty for blasphemy. So this just greatly incenses them. But we'll have to see what happens in the next verse to complete the story.